Hello everybody, this is Ozymandias with another Ozycast, this time reviewing Elite Dangerous and its recent season pass, Horizons. Elite has been around for more than a year now, and back in December, just before Christmas, Frontier released the season pass for 2016 and kickstarted it off with a ton of content relating to planetary landings. So now it feels like the right time to step back and review the game now that this new content is with us. Let's get this right out of the way. Elite Dangerous, simply put, is one of the best games ever made. It is every Star Wars boyhood dream come true, and it's not only that, it is also simply the biggest game ever made. Run this number past yourselves. 400 billion star systems. Now let's unpack that for you. If you could visit just 1 billion of those star systems, one each second, it would take you 32 years to do it. To visit 400 billion, it would take you 12,800 years to do it. Oh, and the guys at Frontier have made it so that when you enter one of those systems and you look around, every star you see is in the right place. The model of the galaxy is simply amazing. Let's talk about how it plays. And it plays really rather well. It takes some practice to play with the mouse and keyboard, but the game really excels when you pair it with a decent HOTAS control system. I went for the Cytec X55 for example, and I can't praise that high enough. But either way, once you've got it, you won't lose it. The skills that you develop are like riding a bike. Once you've got them, you never forget them. Since the game is Elite, there is a lot of space trading, which is not a bad thing in my mind, and if you liked Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator, then this aspect of the game will please you a great deal, and it is certainly one way to make a lot of money quite quickly, so it is often a good place to start once you have built up a little slush fund of cash through doing some missions. Missions appear on a bulletin board at each station. You can pick those up and get paid for doing career missions, piracy or privateer missions, trade, mining, kill quests, etc, etc. Really, the choice is yours. These will help you build a pot of money as well as reputation with the station or faction or minor factions. Powerplay has introduced much more involved missions which can help transform the geopolitical landscape for your chosen allegiance. But I won't go into that here because it's not a core mechanic, but it is an interesting aside and helps give a real context to the stories that are unveiled around you. And we need to talk about planetary landings. Whilst these right now are limited to only planets without atmospheres, when you get down to the planet's surface from a seamless transition from space to surface, land and then launch your all-terrain buggy, it's quite likely, as I was, that you're going to get emotional about it. Once down there, there is much to find and explore. Unless you are doing a surface mission, such as rescuing people from wrecks, locating facilities ready to loot them, finding mining areas which you can then blast apart and grab the ore, then you will follow the scanner to locate rare minerals which cannot be found in any other way in the game. The SRV, the aforementioned all-terrain vehicle, is a wonderful thing to drive, and on low-G planets you'll often be floating as much as driving, but you can expect an awful lot of power drifting, and you can expect just a great fun time driving this vehicle. At its core, Elite may still be a space trading game, with an exceptional combat mechanic, but with Horizons it is also a surface exploration game. If it was only this in 100 systems, it would still be one of the best games ever made, but the fact that it takes place in a practically endless galaxy means the fun is not going to end. There is an anything goes side to the game. You don't choose a class or a profession, you don't do anything like that, instead you just live it. You can be a trader, a pirate, a bounty hunter, a freedom fighter and an imperial zealot, or any combination of those things depending on where you are or how you feel. There are no skills that you are tied to other than those that you learn for real. You don't have to plan out a year's worth of time for skills to be learned like you do in, say, EVE Online. Instead, the game focuses on you and what you can do, and more importantly, what you can do. Space is big. Because it is big, it can take a while to navigate and travel from point A to point B. You don't do this on rails like you do in EVE Online, but instead you always have control. To break up that long drive, you'll have to dodge the star in each system on entry, line up your new destination and watch your back in case a pirate or privateer, chancer, decides to try and take you down, so even these travel sections have some spice. I cannot praise Elite Dangerous high enough. It's one of those games that don't just define a genre, but define and redefine why we all play video computer games in the first place. Not only to have fun, but also to do so inside a simulation that is based on reality. In that way, Elite Dangerous does both the science and fiction absolutely perfectly. I don't hesitate when I give this a perfect 10 out of 10. Thank you very much for listening, and see you next time.